I just tell the truth, and telling the truth is crazy in a world full of lies. If you mix brilliance with bravery, that we can ignite something. Even this conversation alone can ignite the people.
The time is now to express and for people to believe in themselves. The time is now for it to be okay to be great. People in this world shun people for being great, for being a bright color, for standing out. But the time is now to be okay to be the greatest you.
Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl Kelly, and we are back with another video. If you are new to the channel, thank you so much for clicking on the video and checking us out. And if you are new, I really hope you guys will hit that subscribe button, guys. Join me on the channel if you are into things like true crime stories, news, and political commentary. I think you would very much enjoy. And if you are not new, you're a returning listener or subscriber, thank you so much for being a friend as always. And just let's get right into it, guys. Today we have another edition of Twitter Tuesdays, and if you're new, it's just a little thing that we do every week. We go through Twitter, we look at the most heinous, the most debaucherous, the most entertaining stuff on my Twitter feed, and we discuss, guys. So it's gonna be a good one today. I have some really good clips and posts for you guys, and I think y'all will enjoy everything we're going to look into today. So, as keeping with our tradition, you know, everyone's celebrating Pride, guys. Pride Palooza, okay? We all have to turn gay for the month of June, so we're gonna honor it, and we're gonna get into all of your things. We're gonna get into everything Pride, guys. If you are sick of it by now, well, buckle up, because it's not over yet. We still got about half the month left. So let me bring up our very first thing. We're gonna also keep with the tradition of the song of the week, guys, and I think you guys will enjoy this little throwback that we have here. This was about a year ago released, or I should say unleashed on everyone here, on the unsuspecting public. So let's get into it, guys.
And anyway, here's the message. Let's listen.
You think we're sinful? You fight against our rights. You say we all lead lives you can't respect. But you're just frightened. You think that we'll corrupt your kids if our agenda goes unchecked. Funny, just this once, you're correct. We'll convert your children. Happens bit by bit, quietly and subtly, and you will barely notice it. You can keep them from disco, warn about San Francisco, make him wear pleated pants, we don't care. We'll convert your children. We'll make them tolerant and fair.
Wow. So that's not even the full song. It gets better, guys. It gets better. It becomes like a Brady Bunch montage of like 100 gay guys all singing in unison together about converting your children into being gay. Okay, and you guys remember this? You know, it happens bit by bit. You'll hardly notice it. Well, guess what? We're noticing it. The lengths that we have come with this whole Pride movement, this T agenda, and I think it has nothing to do with gays so much. There's the activists that are the few and far between gay and lesbian activists that are within this movement that are part of the problem, but for the most part, I feel like most gay and lesbian people want no part of this, and it's really sad what these activists are doing to the just ordinary, regular gay community. And if I was them, I would be pissed. I would honestly be, I don't know, I would probably go straight just to protest, but I don't know. 2001, we have this Muslim fellow here, USA is the great Satan, and then the guy, the Chad American, LOL, okay. And then in 2023, you know, we've come a long way. He says the same thing, you know, the Muslim guy, he's sticking to his position, he says, US is the great Satan, and the American now, we agree. We say yes. Yes, absolutely. Yep. You're right. We are sorry about that. So let me just show you all this video from the 80s. A simpler time, you know, when America was really at its peak, a more beautiful time, you know, when just we had a little bit more dignity, a little bit more freedom, and a little bit better lives, guys. I would say a lot better lives, actually. This was in the 80s. People were reacting to new laws against drinking and driving, and I love this video. It never gets old to me because I feel what these people feel, and I agree.
Any attempt to restrict drinking and driving here is viewed by some as downright undemocratic.
It's kind of getting common is when a fella can't put in a hard day's work, put in 11, 12 hours a day, and then get in your truck and at least drink 1 or 2 beers.
Exactly.
They're making it laws where you can't drink when you want to. You have to wear a seatbelt when you're driving. And pretty soon we're going to be communist country.
We're there, ma'am. We are there. And, you know, it's just so true. Never forget, guys, what they took from you, okay? Before the 80s, like, if people forget, people really just, or they just don't know, they're just ignorant to the fact that, like, in the 50s and the 60s, the laws, for, like, and I kind of discussed this on my LBJ video, where they, like, created the whole, like, interstate, like, safety regulation and all this. They just created 100 different bureaucracies that started overlooking all these different stupid ass laws that Congress was passing and pushing onto everybody. But before then, we had so many more freedoms. Like, the government was not as infringed onto everyone's rights as they are now. And I just really, I yearn for that time. I do. Because you might say, yeah, it's dangerous to get behind the wheel of a car, but we had a higher trust society back then. We had people who knew how to actually, like, you know, stay within their limits and not endanger everybody. People weren't just, like, getting sloppy drunk and then getting behind the wheel regularly like they do now. I would say that now, even though we have more laws, we're more, like, we're less safe than we've ever been, because people feel helpless, hopeless, and completely restricted. So everyone's just acting out all the time. So, you know, this is a beautiful video, a classic, if I might say. So now let's get into our pride section, guys, of the video. We're gonna start with a message from Joe Biden. Okay, so let's see what he has to say. He's celebrating Pride Month. Okay.
In the 60s, I made love to many, many women,
really?
often outdoors,
Oh.
in the mud and the rain.
Oh my God.
And it's possible a man slipped in. There would be no way of knowing. In the 60s, I made...
Okay. Well, that's a real video, guys, not doctored at all. So, a message from Joe Biden. Thank you. Thank you for that. Okay. But let's get into this event that is featured on my thumbnail here. And it was quite the Pride Month event at the White House. There's a lot going on. So let's start with statements from Joe Biden himself. Let's hope he doesn't shit himself in the process of making these.
Support and affirm their kids. A new federal initiative to address the LGBTQ homelessness. As Commander-in-Chief, I was proud to have ended the ban on transgender Americans.
Transgender? Hello? I'm sorry, but wait, did he just do trans erasure? Because did you just exclude a T? Oh my God. Bigots. I see a bigot. I see a white man, a bigot, who is erasing trans people. Yeah. I see you, Joe Biden.
As Commander-in-Chief, I was proud to have ended the ban on transgender Americans serving in the United States military. Transgender Americans. And there were these two well-dressed men standing on the corner. The light changed. They kissed each other and went in different directions. One went to the Pomp building. One went to the Hercules building. And I'd never seen that before. I looked at my dad. He looked back at me and said, it's simple. They love each other.
Oh, wow.
It's simple.
It's totally made up. Pure fiction. It's a made-up tale. It's a total fabrication. It never happened.
Right, guys? Because of gay?
Support.
It was the trans gesture for me. Let's see if we can play that part back.
There were these two well-dressed men standing on the
wait.
corner. The transgender American. Chief, I was proud to have ended the ban on transgender transgender Americans serving in the United States military. Transgender Americans.
Transgender Americans. He's such a fucking joke. He's such a loser. Loser.
Losers? A loser! Let's go, Ace. Loser.
Joe Biden, you suck. You suck so bad. Okay, let's get his other statement, I guess. I guess we'll listen to this.
We have to act as a nation. We need to push back against the hundreds of callous and cynical bills and laws introduced in states targeting transgender children. Terrifying.
Oh! Oh my god! Oh my god, what is this? What? Oh.
Families.
Is that the Little Mermaid? Is this the new Little Mermaid? Okay, no. It's a no.
Criminalizing doctors and nurses. These bills and laws attack the most basic values
Look at the flags.
and freedoms we have as Americans. That's not hyperbole. That's a fact.
That's right.
The right to be yourself. The right to make your own health decisions. The right to raise your own children. You know, too many people in the LGBT community are worried and afraid about their future and their safety. So today, I want to send a message to the entire community, especially to transgender children. You are loved. You are heard. You are understood. And you belong.
You belong. You belong. What the fuck? Did he run out of breath? Like what? What even was that? It sounded like the demon came out of him in that moment. I hope it did. I hope it exercised itself right out of him, because he is a sick puppy these days. And I just can't make sense of it, because he used to be like, you know, all like homophobic and racist. And now he's just completely other Joe Biden. I mean, he's still racist and homophobic, but it's like he puts on now. He puts on this whole other, like, you know, facade. And it's just like, who are you? Find yourself, okay? And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. There's no such thing as transgender children, okay? That is a fact. People, if you stand against this, you need to push back on that. You cannot allow these people to continue to impede upon speech and continue to force these made-up terms and words onto everyone. If somebody uses it, you know, in your presence, speak up about it. Like, I mean, there's no better time like than now. I mean, we're already screwed. So if you don't want to continue to keep getting screwed, if you want to have some semblance of reality or normalcy in your life, in your community, you got to say something. Somebody tries to say transgender kid in your presence, say there's no such thing. You don't have to get into a fight with anybody. You don't have to make it contentious. Just state your opinion. And if people get angry or upset with you, then you know, like, what that person's about at that point. And it honestly helps you filter people out of your life. Like, somebody the other day at work was talking to me about some non-binary, this, that, and the other thing. And I said, there's no such thing as that. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I don't use pronouns other than the correct ones. And there's no such thing as non-binary. And there's no such thing as transgender kids. It's very, very simple. So, let's get into this freak. This freak-ass man who showed up at the White House and utterly disgraced everyone and made me sick in the process of his shenanigans. So, let's get into it, guys.
Welcome to the White House.
Thank you. Can we take a little video? Hi, Mr. President. It is an honor. Trans rights are human rights.
Are we topless at the White House?
Oh my God! Sir? Okay, so we got two ladies with their man boobies out and their chest scars, and then we have this guy here with his tiggle bitties that he paid for, disgracing everybody on the White House lawn with this abomination in the background. This is America, guys. This is your country, okay? If you're not convinced that we have fallen and we are utterly taken over and this country has been sold out, look no further than this right here. I mean, what the so disgusting.
Some of the bravest, the most inspiring people I've ever known.
Yeah. The bravest bravest and most inspiring people. Oh my god. Ugh. Gross. I mean, like, why was... Okay. Alright. I just... We're so fucked. And then Jesse Kelly had the nerve to come out on Twitter earlier and say that he thought that this guy looked good. He was like, what did he say? I'm gonna pull it up just so I can show you guys. Conservative commentator, by the way. Okay, and I mean, I get it. Like, everyone loves a little keck. Everyone likes to laugh. I love to laugh. Hee hee ha ha. You know, I love it. It's fun. But shit like this, I don't know. I don't feel like he was joking. That tranny that flashed everyone at the White House looked pretty good, and I'm tired of pretending he didn't. Okay. Is that okay, it's funny. Haha. Yeah. Hilarious. Real funny. And I don't care if he's joking. And you can say whether or not you think he is or not, but it's just like,
She's a man.
Too soon, my guy. Too soon. Just like the people that, you know, Garth Brooks wanted to come out and say that he thought that people were assholes that were boycotting Bud Light.
What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, that's where you fucked up. It was a fuck around and find out moment for Garth Brooks. And this can be one for Jesse Kelly as well, because sometimes you need to read the room and understand when things aren't really a joke. And this whole issue is really rubbing people the wrong way, and it's not really a joke right now. So maybe, you know, maybe find something better to joke about. But let's watch this man's statement after he was utterly disgraced, and actually he got banned from the White House and disavowed by Karen Jean-Pierre and Joe Biden and the the administration as a whole for doing that lewd act on the White House lawn. So let's see what his statement was.
It has recently come to my attention that conservatives are trying to use the video of me topless at the White House to try to call the community groomers, etc. And I would just like to say that, first of all, going topless in Washington, D.C. is legal. And I fully support the movement in freeing the nipple, because why is my chest now deemed inappropriate or illegal when I show it off? However, before coming out as trans, it was not. All you're doing is affirming that I am a woman. All you're doing is saying that trans women are women, because for some reason, people like to sexualize women's bodies and say that they are inappropriate. My trans masculine...
You know, that's so funny. You really you thought you had one there, didn't you? You really thought that was a haha gotcha moment. No. Absolutely not. Honestly, I was disgusted by all three of you. And it's really I was more disgusted by the two women on either side of you who were showing off their chest scars and their body mutilation that they've done to themselves, because those were actual real female breasts that were being shown on the White House lawn. Yours were just fake implants, you know, Barbie tits, whatever you want to call it. And all three was an act of utter disgrace, because there's this thing called decorum, there's this thing called respect, and there's this thing called honor. Okay, and I know you probably don't know anything about any of those ideas, but it wasn't the fact that you had your man tits out, okay, flashing them. It was the fact of where and when you did it, okay? I get that that's a hard concept to wrap your brain around. So nobody's affirming you as anything, okay? Everyone knows what you are. Everyone can tell from the sound of your voice what you are. I don't care what Jesse Kelly or anyone else says about how you look, okay? At the end of the day, you will never be a woman, and that, if you have a hole down there, whatever it is, it can never equate to a female anatomy. And those silicone bags you have on your chest will never equate to actual real female breasts, okay? Sorry to break it to you, my guy, but nobody's affirming you of anything or saying that, you know, we think that you're a lady just because you flashed those big fake boobs to everyone. We're just saying you're disgusting, gross abomination who is classless and trashy. And so were the two young ladies on either side of you, okay? That's all we're saying. It's really that simple. So, another abomination that we have here, who thinks it's okay to flash their big old man titties, is this guy right here. An individual who I suspect to be a I'm sorry, what? Who I suspect? What was your first giveaway? What was your first indication? Because yeah, I think your suspicions are pretty much right. To be a biological male chases me down the parade route with its breasts completely exposed. Is this what women do? Tons of children present, by the way. So this is at your average everyday pride parade. This is what they're doing, guys. And I never used to go to pride parades, but I have this weird feeling that they've become something different in recent years than what they used to be. You know, color me crazy, but y'all tell me. Let me know in the comments down below. Let's get into this guy with his... This is so gross. Oh. What in the... Are you looking? What is your problem? Oh. Oh my god. Ew. Literally being chased. Ew. My stars. I mean, this is a person who is obviously playing out their sexual fantasies and their sexual kinks onto every single person who is a witness to this. So all of you people that are laughing, that are just standing by with your kids or with your family or even just you yourself, you are a party to this disgusting things, sexual fetishes, okay? He's gonna go home and probably jerk it to this whole event and him out here with these disgusting things on his chest, shaking them, chasing people around with his unnatural breasts. I mean, this is a fucking abomination. I'm sorry. This type of shit really... I mean, it's disgusting. And yes, this is all, for the most part, a distraction, but it is real and it is happening. And people are really doing this, and this is a real threat. So as much as it is a distraction from all of the bad, actual shit that is coming economically and, you know, possibly like with war or whatever, like all the big things that you might say, you know, are a threat to us right now. In the short game, this is actually a distraction, but in the long game, this is a huge threat. If we don't want to see this all across America, and it's getting to that point, this is what you have to speak about it. It's just that simple. Because a lot of people, I see some conservatives still talk about like, oh, why do you talk about this? Why do you show that? Like somebody, I think it was Anomaly, who was like saying, and I don't know if Anomaly is a conservative, but he was like saying, oh, why are people showing the trannies' boobs on the White House lawn? You know, you're just like putting softcore porn on your Twitter. It's like, no. I'm sorry. At the end of the day, people have to draw attention to this because nobody knows. Americans are so stuck in their own bubbles that, like, they don't pay attention. Your average citizen does not pay attention to this type of shit. So it's like they're not aware of what's going on until it's, like, in their face. So, sorry conservatives. Like, if you don't like it, if you don't like the aggressive approach, which a lot of conservatives don't, well, you know what? You're going to get left in the dust because, hate to tell you, but this is real. So, here's your other average pride parade. Your sex is political. Okay? Did you know that? Your sex is political? The children everywhere. Babies. Little babies. With all these sick-ass men who are playing out their sexual deviances. This is foreplay for all these sick fucks. And these poor kids are probably thinking like, oh, there's you know, there's Chuck E. Cheese or like these animals, they see them and they're probably just, their little innocent minds thinking like, oh, I want to go and like say hi to the furry rabbit or whatever. And it's like, you know how much semen is probably on those costumes? Okay, don't let your kids go to Pride. What is wrong with you people? You shouldn't be there, 1. Your kids shouldn't be there, 2. And I agree with this statement. Every single parent that subjects their kids to this should be in jail. And I'm sorry if you don't like to hear that. I really am. I don't care. Okay? So, this was a high school that, you know, the kids were actually having a, I guess you would say a little pushback on this gay video that their teacher was trying to shove in all of their faces. So, let's get into it, guys.
Wow, Miss Clark.
Oh.
Wow. Why are you showing this to kids?
Oh my God. They said, why are you showing this to kids? I love this. This is in California too? Okay. I see California is getting a little bit of their balls back. I like that.
Hey, I'll warn you guys now, if you're going to be inappropriate, I will have supervision down and give all of you a Saturday school for next year. So,
bitch, you, ma'am, you are the inappropriate one. You are showing gay, lesbian, whatever, propaganda to high school age kids? I would argue that you're inappropriate, okay? They are telling you they don't want to see this shit. And it would be just as weird if you showed some weird heterosexual propaganda to them as well. And I'm not talking about movies with just normal people in them who are heterosexual. I'm talking about a video that is displaying, like, you know, if there was a heterosexual flag, just, I mean, that. Let's just watch it again.
knock it off.
Okay.
Bitch, oh, somebody needs to knock you out. What is this? What even is this video?
Wow, Miss Clark. Wow. Why are you showing this to kids?
Hey, I'll warn you guys now, if you're going to be inappropriate, I will have supervision down and give all of you a Saturday school for next year. So knock it off.
Okay.
And I wish there was more context around this, because I would love to know what the purpose of the video was, what the teacher was even thinking, showing it to these high school students. But I love that they had this reaction, and you could tell that this was serious. Like, it wasn't just them, you know, playing around. It was like actually, she was pissed. She was butthurt. She was fixing to hand out a bunch of Saturday schools because they didn't want to watch her gay lesbian propaganda video. I mean, the nerve of them, right? So ridiculous. I mean, we've said it before. Get your kids the hell out of public school. Okay, be more like these parents right here. Oh my God. Oh no. Save Canada? I love all the people that are just like, that were utterly cucked, that are coming out of this, guys. This is what gives me hope. There's still hope for us, because we are not fully cucked as these people in Canada, places like Canada and California are, and they are regaining their voice and doing things like this, which I totally disavow. Like, how dare these kids ruin this pride flag? Oh my God, I hate to see it. I hate to see it. You know, this is like, I'm only showing you guys this because, you know, this is terrible. Like, it I mean, I've never seen anything so bad. But I love that, you know, they're getting their voices back and making it be known. Even if I totally disavow the cause, you know, like, yeah, we hate to see this, guys. We totally hate this, yeah. But, you know, good for y'all, Canada. People are getting their voices back, and they're not going to take this abuse anymore, guys. And when it comes to the kids, you better leave them alone, okay? So I wanted to see if you guys had heard about the story. Obviously, I cannot play the video because it's horrifying, and Twitter was completely censoring this video. So I don't know. Did you guys see this on Twitter? But if you didn't see it on Twitter, have you even heard of the story? Because probably not, if I had to guess, the amount of censorship that it got. So there was this quote-unquote Christian, right, who was going around this park stabbing toddlers, babies, and their mothers in France, okay? And he was an immigrant from Syria. So once again, we must say Alex Jones was right.
Millions of pointed people of the very worst type, and I'm so pissed. We're gonna stab your daughter at the mall. We're gonna stab your wife, your son. We're gonna stab you with a butcher knife, and then the police chief is gonna say, we love our Somalis, we love our Muslims. Oh, they're so good, oh, they're so sweet.
So let's get into this article because there's an update. So the Christian, in quotes, who stabbed children on the playground turns out to be a Muslim, guys. Dun dun dun! Are you surprised that this man right here is a Muslim? Named Selwan Majdi. Okay, great. So the Anise terrorist is a Syrian Muslim. Here is what is circulating from Syrians living in France and Germany who recognized the madman of Allah. And this was confirmed by relatives of Father Boulad in Alexandria. From the beginning, we said that it cannot be a Christian, that it has to be signs of being done by a Muslim. The assailant is said to be a Syrian refugee. So yeah, we knew this all along, obviously, but in the video, people were trying to like dunk on conservatives who were sharing this or who were absolutely outraged, as if you could ever even defend something like this or try to dunk on anybody. This should be a cause that everyone should kind of just naturally rally around each other for and just utterly condemn. But because in the video, he, at the very end, said something, or I think it was either at the beginning or the end, he said something like, oh, this is for Jesus Christ, or like, in the name of Jesus Christ, or something, which, from the beginning, I knew that it was absolutely bullshit, because, first of all, that's blasphemy, and that is absolutely against everything that Jesus ever stood for, and ever spoke. So, you could never be in the name of Jesus Christ doing anything so evil and sadistic. So that's one. And number two, people don't go around saying that. Okay, that's a Muslim thing. When people do jihadist things in the name of Allah or whatever, a Muslim, then they declare it and they say out loud that statement, but about their leader or whoever they believe in. So I knew that was total and utter fabrication, and it was just meant like against Christians and against Jesus. That's kind of how I interpreted it. I was like, well, he's bringing up the name of our Lord and Savior, Christians, to basically spit in our faces while doing such a heinous and disgusting and evil act as stabbing children at a playground. So that's kind of how I interpreted it. So, and then I was also happy to see this update from the citizens of France who are also not going to take it, even though France is actually pretty epic. They do not fuck around, okay, at all on any level. They've been in the streets for like the past 2 years, it seems like, about this, that, and the other thing. Protesting and rioting it seems like their way of life at this point. I mean, they are down with a good resistance movement, okay? They will go to your castle and behead you. Some French people will. So this was their reaction to this terrorist and this refugee, this illegal immigrant who has squatted in their country and then decided to turn acts of violence on their people. So that's epic. Love to see it. The French, y'all are my people. I love y'all. Y'all do a great riot and a great protest. And what they were saying was death to terrorists, refugees out. Europe is actually they're really not taking the shit laying down. At least some countries. Like Ireland, I've been seeing a lot of good, refugee and illegal immigration resistance movements in Ireland. And in France now, it seems like more. At first, no, not so much, but people are getting sick of it. People are getting sick of it. So we need more of this. We need people to stop letting their governments flood their cities and their communities with these terroristic migrants. And then they go and do violent shit like this because They don't care. They were brought up in completely different circumstances and completely different cultures. And in some cases, their religions call for violence against either Christians or other people. So why would you allow that sort of shit into your country? I'm sorry, but it's just, it is what it is. So France, you know, you guys, y'all never cease to disappoint in the regards of a resistance movement. It's beautiful. So this is very alarming, guys. Here, Africa says bye to the US dollar. Williams Ruto, who is the president of Kenya, urges African nations to dump the US dollar under tumultuous applause. With every nation that rejects the US dollar as reserve currency, the US government will pay a higher price for printing money.
Traders from Djibouti selling to Kenya, or traders from Kenya selling to Djibouti, have to look for US dollars. How is US dollars part of the trade between Djibouti and Kenya? Why? And we are saying that today, Afri-Exim Bank have given us a mechanism where traders in our continent can trade in their goods and services, and the Africa-Exim Bank will settle payments in local currency. That is why Kenya champions the Pan-African payment and settlement system that is done by our own institution, the Afri-Exim Bank. Why, members? Why is it necessary for us to buy things from Djibouti and pay in dollars? Why? There is no reason. And we are not against the US dollar. We just want to trade much more freely. Let us pay in US dollars what we are buying from the US. But what we are buying from Djibouti, let's use local currency.
So we're in big trouble. We're in big freaking trouble. People don't understand and underestimate the power that we had as a nation with our currency being the reserve currency. And I would say that in the long run, like, you know, decades from now, that this could be good for everyone. Like, yes, nations, I feel like they should be trading in their own currencies, but for right now, like, and in the next 10 years, this is going to be horrible. I mean, there's going to be chaos, there's going to be shortages, there's going to be hyperinflation. I mean, the sky's the limit when it comes to how this is going to affect us. And other nations are actively working against ours. Whereas we used to have nations working with us and wanting to be our partners, they are getting away from us as fast as they can. This is bad. This is very bad. China and Russia are already trading in their own currencies. All these other countries all these other countries own a lot of our debt. They own American debt. So when they say, to hell with you guys, and start trading in local currencies, we still owe that debt, okay? So it's just not good. RIP to all of us. So let's get an update on the Brittany Griner situation. We just covered this story on our last video about this trolling that she had to go through. It was a very traumatic experience, guys, being spoken to in an airport by someone who you weren't expecting to speak to you. Well, let's see what her update statement was.
Thank y'all for covering me and
hello.
All the exposure that you gave me, my family. I really appreciate it. That coverage was much needed.
Yeah.
Thank y'all.
She liked it, the coverage. They can try all they want to cry about things and to say that, like, they need charter flights for all of our WNBA players because they're such delicate flowers. But at the end of the day, it got people talking about them, whereas normally it's crickets. When you mention the WNBA, people are like, what are you talking about? Most people don't even know what the hell you're talking about. So, it was ultimately a win for Brittany. So she can really thank Alex Stein, honestly. So I wanted to get into this video here because this man actually owned these ladies. This is an argument that we see a lot. about how women aren't paid as much as male athletes. Well, it's because nobody cares about women's sports, including women. Women don't care about them. Okay, so let's watch this.
Now, if they make it to the final, the girls will get $5,500 each. The blokes will get $69,000
Each? That's right, bitch.
How can anyone justify this, guys?
They can't.
No.
I mean, the gender, I beg your pardon?
I can justify it.
How? Why?
Let me ask you this. How many of you guys on the panel know who our Australian Matildas are playing in the quarterfinals? No, because you don't care about it. All of you can go and watch W League games in the women's competition here, but you don't. Now, when you start to go and watch these women play the wonderful football they do, then they'll earn more money. The top 10 fastest men of all time in terms of sprinters are all black, of African origin. Are you telling me that the white guys should say, hold on, we should be paid just as much as the black guys for sprinting? No, because they're not as fast.
But to me, it comes down to simply a matter of inequity.
But the ratings aren't as good. It comes down to a business thing where not as many people are watching it, so there's not much money.
Yeah. Now, if they make it to the final, the girls...
The men just get it, okay? And, you know, chalk it up to, I don't know, high levels of estrogen and just the fall of the patriarchy. I don't know what it is. I think it's a lot of SSRIs and too much caffeine. But the women are just clueless. They scream about things that they know nothing about. It's in the name of equality. We all need to be equal. Well, guess what? We're not. We're not. Okay, like he was saying, black men run faster. So you're going to have winners and losers in life. And I'm sorry to tell you, women, that until you start watching all of these sports that you all are crying about, then you really have no leg to stand on. And I don't really want to hear it. Go make a sandwich for me, okay? Thanks. Okay. Another one, guys. This is our SSRI leftist female section of the video. Okay, a woman sues her parents for having her without her consent. Let's get into it, guys.
I sued my parents for having me without my permission.
But why?
Because I did not consent to being here.
How were they supposed to ask for your consent before you were born?
I was unaware that I was going to have to grow up and get a job.
It's because somebody does not want to work, wants to be a couch potato.
I just didn't consent to that. They didn't try to contact me in any way before I was born.
Lady, we do not have the technology to contact unborn children yet. Maybe iPhone 79.
Before I was born to see if I actually wanted to be here.
I mean, if you did not want to be here, then why did you come? Maybe they should sue you for coming into their house and drinking their milk and free cereal and now complaining.
And that's why I sued them. Okay. So yeah, if you are pregnant right now, you need to hire a psychic medium and ask your child if they actually want to be here.
Is that right?
What the father You know what? I agree with her. Her parents made a mistake.
I agree too. Very much agree. And ma'am, feel free to take yourself out at any given moment, okay? And I disavow any form of self-harm, okay? I don't think that is the right way, and I would never suggest anyone do that. But I'm just saying, you do have free will. You know that, right? And, yeah, just going to put that out there. I'm just going to leave that on a limb, okay? So, the audacity of these people, you know, where do women get off? Where do you people get off, okay? You're embarrassing to the sex, okay? Let's check in with the climate activists that are so greatly loved on this channel, okay?
What the hell is Karen doing? What?
Hello?
You alright there, love?
Do you know what you're doing here with your engine idling?
No, what?
What?
You are polluting the atmosphere.
Really?
You're just sitting here without a care of the world with your engine running,
Okay.
and you don't care who you're polluting here.
Okay,
There
really?
are lots of kids live around here, you know.
Why is that so?
Yeah.
Well, he lives here. I don't see any kids here.
Well, they're not here at the moment, but they're living in these flats. You know, the
Okay.
fumes from this car are going in through all the windows and all the ventilation.
The fumes from this car, yeah?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Well, you do know that this car's electric, right?
Yeah. You try and fob me off like that.
No,
it's
I'm
an
not fobbing
electric
anyone off.
car, la-di-da-di-da, just to cover up your crimes. Because I will be
What
reporting this, you know.
What?
You know,
Report me to who?
to the authorities.
What? And say what? Hey, excuse me, someone's in their car.
Yeah.
I mean, my Imagine not having a life to this degree. Imagine the miserable nature of this person. I mean, I hope you don't have a family because I couldn't imagine you.
Yeah, I'm going to take a picture of you and all. Yeah, so that's you.
For what
You're
reason?
sitting in the car with the
You didn't
engine
even take a
running.
picture, dummy.
You're polluting the atmosphere. That is a crime.
Why are you
Naz.
standing next to this car then?
Because you are
You kook?
sending untold,
Untold?
nasty emissions of poison all over this area.
Well, really?
You shouldn't be allowed.
Am I really?
Yes,
I think
you are
the- I
really,
think that- I think-
really. As you live and breathe, as you're talking to me now, you are sitting there with your engine running
And you're sat there with a
polluting the
hat.
atmosphere.
And you're sitting there, and you're standing over there with a hat on. I'm not complaining about that, am I?
Well, that might be a crime against fashion, but it's certainly not a crime as in the police are going to get me, are they?
Okay, so what? You're going to call the police because
This is a crime against fashion. She's got that right.
I'm just sat in my car?
You're sat in your car with your engine running. If you were sat in the car with your engine off, like, I wouldn't say anything about it.
Oh, really?
But look, it's
Just
an electric
go
car,
off
though.
my way and, you know, enjoy my afternoon rather
I
than
never like-
engaging in a pointless conversation with you.
No,
Although I hope
like,
it's not pointless because I'm hoping that you're going to turn that bloody engine off.
Love, it's an electric
Yeah,
car.
no, you've got a child in the back there.
Love, it's an
Do you know
electric
what
car.
you're doing to that child? You've got the window open talking to me, as you would, of course.
But I'm saying it's an electric car, though.
It's not an electric car.
It's electric.
What a
Look, there's no emissions coming
What
out
are you
of it.
pointing at that for? What's that?
No, nothing.
What is that? What? Oh, so that tells me it's an
You
electric car.
touching my car now. What? You've
I'm
got
just
the
trying to-
right.
all right,
You've
look,
got the
okay,
right
all
to
right,
invade
okay.
my finger.
I'm not
and-
gonna
Yeah,
again.
you
Thank you.
better. You better back up. Give me 50 feet, woman, because you just fucked up right there, okay? I mean, we see it every week, guys. We know these people's agenda. We know these people's MO. We know their frame of mind. They're sick in the head, and they care more about the emissions from a vehicle than they do about a dad who is just trying to innocently live his life with his child in the backseat. They'd rather spurg out on some climate rant than just go about their business and try to enjoy their life while they still have it on this planet that you're only given one life to live here, but you choose to spend it like this. Okay, so you are doomed for, you know, not great things, ma'am. So y'all remember that story we talked about not too long ago about the ammonium nitrate being missing from the train car? Y'all remember that, guys? Well, this woman has a theory.
Okay, friends, so I live in a town that is about 5 hours north of New York City. Canada is about 2.5 hours north of my town. New York City is covered in a yellow cloud of smog, and they're telling us that it is from the wildfires in Canada. But that yellow cloud of smog never passed over my house, and it would have had to get to New York City. I also want to ask you this question. What color does ammonium nitrate burn? Just saying.
Okay, nothing to see here. All right, we're going to quickly move on, and y'all let me know. What do y'all think? I mean, I just want to show y'all this now. Our biggest ally, guys, we hear our government say this all the time. Our biggest allies, we love it. It's our brother country. I don't know. They tell us this. We're just supposed to like take this on its face, but here we have an Israeli government aide filmed publicly urinating near the site of a mass shooting which killed 5 Palestinians just hours earlier. So I don't know if this was deliberate. I don't know if this was a fuck you moment. It seemed kind of like it was based on the video that we have of it and the press that was like surrounded to catch this. It seemed like a bit of a you know, kind of a cold-blooded FU to the Palestinians. And just because I am saying that I'm not, you know, I don't love Israel like some of these other people do, the way that we are told to, I don't consider them to be our greatest ally or whatever it is that people say. Our politicians tell us about Israel and how it's just like, you know, we need to keep it on our titty at all times and nurse it, like mother it into health. I don't go for any of that shit. But I also don't care about the Palestinians. I don't care about any other country but this country now. So it's like when it comes down to it, I don't care. This fight between the Jews and the Palestinians, I have no skin in the game. So let's get into this video though, just so you guys can see. Look at this Jew. He looks like he's up to no good. Oh my God. Pulled out his tiny wiener. Yeah, this looks staged. Okay. So those are the kind of people that apparently are our biggest allies. These are the people that we need to be protecting and giving billions in aid to. Funding their military, funding their dome, their Iron Dome. Disgusting. I don't care who you're for. That's disgusting. To purposefully desecrate, you know, a people, like a group of people like that, you're disgusting. Okay, so fuck you guys. Speaking of desecrating, look at this whale here. Oh God, I wish she would have fallen. These two young ladies were arrested for damaging a sand sculpture at the Royal Hawaiian Hotel. So let's see what they're doing. Okay, this is the youth of America. And this pig comes along to just destroy it for what reason? For a laugh and for a TikTok video? Yeah. I mean, just the state of these people, the state of this country. Here's another example, guys. You know, people who say back the blue. Yeah, I don't fuck with it no more. I really don't. I mean, I'm not against cops. I'm not anti-police, but I do not trust them. They're part of the government, and they do shit like this. I mean, what is the reason? He is executing a search warrant and purposely trying to damage property, not knowing that you're caught on candid camera, bitch. What a douchebag. And this is what they do. This is what they do. If you've seen search warrants executed before, like even like on a TV show or whatever the case may be, they deliberately tear shit apart. Like, we'll rip open couch cushions, we'll throw drawers of shit onto the floor. They don't care. They don't care at all. If they are, you know, there dealing with you, they look at you as a criminal, they look at you as someone who they are against, and they treat you as such when they're supposed to be protecting and serving. Okay, so let's get into the last couple things, guys. This video right here was absolutely epic, okay? Beautiful show from this gentleman right here. One of the key future Nuremberg 2.0 defendants who committed EUA product genocide enters the room. Let's hear what this man had to say and who he had to say it to.
Hey, Dr. Walensky, Ivan Raiklan, I really look forward to you testifying about your involvement in murdering 38,000 Americans.
Oh my God.
Due to the jab.
Hello? Ooh, y'all don't have nothing to say about that, do y'all? That's awkward. That's awkward. Yikes. And I would say that's a low estimate, sir. You are giving numbers, obviously, that were pulled from the VAERS system itself, and so I get it. I get where the 38,000 number came from, as per referenced here. But those are rookie numbers. Obviously, we know that those numbers have gone way up, and we've gotten those numbers way up. So I would say she's responsible for even more than that. But we hate to see it. We hate to see it. So, another thing that I utterly hated to see, I mean, to a certain level, you know, I expected this, because Jordan Peterson, I never really, I was never a Jordan Peterson person. You know, I understand that some young men found him to be, you know, helpful in their lives or whatever, and I think he was more geared towards speaking to men, but I always found him to be utterly cringe and just kind of annoying, and his voice always was like nails on a chalkboard to me. So I was never a Jordan Peterson fan, but you know, I can recognize that he had some good points when it comes to certain things, and I had a level of respect for him just for being a former liberal and speaking out on some of these things and speaking out forcefully. But this take right here, this was like, I mean, I would vote for this as being like in top 5 worst tweets of the month, okay? Maybe of the year. And I had to call him out for it. And so I just wanted to read this to you guys just so we could all see an example of what not to do in life and on Twitter, okay? This is the tweet. I will read it if I can get the words out of my mouth without throwing up. A Pence presidency would restore some normalcy. At Mike Pence. That could be a relief. Okay. I just had to, I just had to tell him he needs to throw his phone off a bridge after that. Okay. This is you after posting this. Let's see what it is. And that is so true. That is so true, guys. This right here, this is what Jordan Peterson looked like whenever he tweeted that out. He put his phone down and he looked in the mirror, and this is the reflection that he saw staring back at him. And I hope he knows that, and I hope he understands that. So, y'all let me know, guys. What did y'all think about today's, collection of topics? Twitter Tuesdays wraps up for another week. I would love to know what y'all's thoughts were on everything. So, please let me know in the comments down below. And y'all definitely like the video if you liked it, and subscribe to the channel, guys, if you haven't already done that. Go follow me on Twitter if you guys want to see a preview of what is to come each week on Twitter Tuesdays. And yeah, guys, until next time, y'all take it easy out there, and I will see you guys later. Bye.
I just tell the truth, and telling the truth is crazy in a world full of lies. If you mix brilliance with bravery, that we can ignite something. Even this conversation alone can ignite the people.
The time is now to express and for people to believe in themselves. The time is now for it to be okay to be great. People in this world shun people for being great, for being a bright color, for standing out. But the time is now to be okay to be the greatest you.